4 dangerous vitamins you should never take and 4 you should take daily. And I'm not kidding around here. Here's the shocking truth. 85% of women over 60 are popping at least one vitamin pill every morning. But a bombshell new study from the Cleveland Clinic just revealed that 40% of them are accidentally causing permanent nerve damage to themselves. So let me ask you this. Are those vitamin bottles sitting in your medicine cabinet right now actually helping you live longer? Or are they slowly killing you from the inside out? Well, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly which 4 vitamins you need to throw in the trash today, and which 4 could help you live another 10 years with a sharp mind and strong bones. Now let's start with vitamin number 4 that I want you to be careful about. This vitamin A sounds completely harmless. Heck, it's even advertised as being good for your eyes. But I've got to be straight with you. It's quietly making your bones as brittle as crackers. Listen, here's what most doctors never tell you. When you're over 60, your liver isn't working like it did when you were 30. It processes this retinol form of vitamin A very poorly. And here's the big problem. Vitamin A isn't like vitamin C or B vitamins that you can just pee out. No, this stuff is what we call fat-soluble, meaning it sticks to your fatty tissues like glue and refuses to leave. Now check out these numbers. Most multivitamins on the pharmacy shelf contain around 3,000 micrograms of vitamin A. Sounds fine, right? But the safe level for people over 60 is only 700 to 900 micrograms. That means you're swallowing 3 to 4 times what you need every single day. And here's the evidence that shocked me. Scientists followed 38,000 women for 19 straight years. Guess what they found? Those taking too much vitamin A had hip fracture rates that were 2.4% higher than those who didn't take it. Now, how do you know if you're having problems? Let me tell you the warning signs you might be missing. First, your skin is drier than usual, even though you're using moisturizer. You feel dizzy for no clear reason. Your vision seems blurrier. Ironic, isn't it? When vitamin A is supposed to be good for your eyes. Joint pain, fatigue, and you think it's just getting older. But it might not be. A 2018 study in JAMA, that's the Journal of the American Medical Association, showed that excess vitamin A increases bone fracture risk by 26%. That's a scary number for folks like us. So what should you do? Simple. Toss any vitamins containing retinol or retinol palmitate. Instead, get your vitamin A from natural food sources. Baked sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach, these contain something called beta-carotene. And here's the beautiful thing. Your body only converts beta-carotene into vitamin A when it actually needs it. You can never overdose this way. Tonight, when you get home, check your multivitamin label. If you see the words retinol or retinol palmitate, that's your cue to make a change. This next vitamin really makes my blood boil. Vitamin B6 is being sold like candy to seniors for energy boosts. They tell you it's safe because it's water-soluble. But I have to tell you that 40% of users are heading down a path of irreversible nerve damage. Let me explain why this is so dangerous. The amount of B6 your body needs each day is just 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men. Doesn't sound like much, right? But when I checked the most popular multivitamins at Walmart and CVS, I found they contain up to 100 milligrams. That's 60 times what you need. Now you're probably thinking, but B6 is water-soluble. Won't my body just flush it out? That's what everyone thinks, including many doctors. But B6 is different. When you take high doses, B6 builds up in your nerve tissues, and when that happens, it becomes what we call a neurotoxin, basically a nerve poison. It starts attacking your sensory nerves, especially in your hands and feet. Scientists at the Cleveland Clinic reported something terrifying. 40% of elderly patients using high-dose B6 developed irreversible nerve damage. Do you understand what that means? Once the damage is done, it can never be healed. The first symptoms are usually very subtle. You start feeling numbness and tingling in your fingertips and toes. You think it's just from sitting too long or sleeping in a weird position. Then it gets worse. You lose your balance when walking. Your feet feel like you're stepping on pins and needles. Your muscles get weaker, especially in your hands. People with diabetes or thyroid problems are at even higher risk because their nervous systems are already vulnerable. High-dose B6 is like pouring gasoline on a fire. I once met a 68-year-old woman who took 100 mg of B6 daily for 2 years for energy. Now she can't hold a coffee cup without her hands shaking, and that will never get better. So what should you do? First, immediately stop taking anything with more than 10 milligrams of B6. Instead, get your B6 from natural food sources: chickpeas, tuna, turkey, and bananas. These foods provide all the B6 your body needs without the toxicity. And remember, only supplement with B6 if your doctor diagnoses a deficiency through blood work. Don't take it just because you think it'll give you energy. No amount of energy is worth losing the ability to use your hands properly. Vitamin number 2 is vitamin E. It's advertised everywhere as being good for your heart. But, I have to be blunt with you, it's actually increasing prostate cancer risk by 17% and raising death rates. And here's why. The biggest problem with vitamin E is that most of what you buy off the pharmacy shelf is fake. I'm not kidding. It's called DL-alpha tocopherol. That's the synthetic, completely artificial form. Your body has evolved over millions of years to recognize natural vitamin E. But this synthetic stuff? Your body doesn't know what to do with it. It absorbs poorly, but then hangs around in your system for way too long, like an unwelcome house guest. And here's the dangerous part. This fake vitamin E throws off your vitamin K balance. Vitamin K controls how your blood clots. When that gets messed up, you're at higher risk for dangerous bleeding. But here's the worst part. Scientists tracked 118,000 people and discovered that those taking 400 IU of synthetic vitamin E daily had death rates that were 4% higher. That might not sound like much, but when you multiply that by millions of people taking it, we're talking about thousands of unnecessary deaths. Let me tell you about the study that kept me up at night. JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association, followed 35,000 men for years. Those taking synthetic vitamin E had a 17% higher risk of prostate cancer. You know what's really scary? Husbands and fathers are taking vitamin E, thinking they're protecting their hearts, but they're actually increasing their cancer risk. And if you're taking daily aspirin for your heart or warfarin to prevent strokes, then synthetic vitamin E becomes a ticking time bomb. It increases your risk of brain bleeds and stomach bleeding. I had a friend, 72 years old, who took 400 IU of vitamin E daily, along with his aspirin. One day he had a minor fall, but ended up with a brain hemorrhage because his blood couldn't clot properly. Thankfully, he survived, but that's a wake-up call for all of us. So what should you do? First, check every vitamin bottle you have. If you see D, DL, alpha tocopherol, throw it out immediately. Instead, get your vitamin E from natural food sources: sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocados. These foods provide all the different forms of vitamin E your body needs, safely and effectively. If your doctor truly requires you to supplement with vitamin E, choose the DAGMA tocopherol form. That's the natural version. And always keep it at low doses, under medical supervision. And now we come to the most dangerous vitamin on my list: iron. It doesn't just cause diabetes, it increases heart failure risk by 2.3 times. And the scary part is that 30% of people over 60 are slowly killing themselves by taking it without even knowing it. Let me explain why iron is so dangerous. When you're young, your body regularly loses iron. Women lose iron through their monthly periods. Men lose iron through sweat and dead skin cells. But after 60, everything changes completely. Men stop losing iron after puberty. Women stop losing iron after menopause. But we keep taking iron supplements if our bodies still need them. And here's the deadly problem. Iron isn't like vitamin C or B vitamins that you can just pee out. No, iron builds up in your liver, heart, and pancreas. It sits there like rusty metal, creating what we call free radicals. These are harmful molecules that destroy your cells from the inside out. A study in the medical journal Circulation tracked thousands of people and discovered something horrifying. Those with high iron stores had a 36% higher risk of heart failure. That means their hearts were slowly being destroyed by the very thing they thought was keeping them healthy. Even worse, research from Diabetes Care showed that when ferritin, that's the blood test that measures your stored iron, goes above 300, your risk of type 2 diabetes increases by 2.3 times. The problem with iron overload is that it's a silent killer. You don't see symptoms right away. Instead, you feel joint pain, but you think it's just aging. You're tired, but you blame it on poor sleep. Your memory gets fuzzy, but you think it's just a senior moment. Meanwhile, iron is quietly destroying your liver, damaging your pancreas, and creating plaque buildup in your arteries. By the time you realize what's happening, the damage can't be reversed. I've met too many friends who thought they were doing the right thing by taking iron for energy, but they were actually shortening their own lives. So what should you do? Simple rule: never supplement with iron unless your doctor diagnoses you with anemia through specific blood tests. Before taking any iron pills, ask your doctor to check your ferritin level. If it's above 100 ng/ml, nanograms per milliliter, iron supplementation becomes dangerous. Instead of iron, focus on B12, folate, and magnesium to support your blood health safely. And most importantly, choose multivitamins labeled iron-free. That could be a life-saving decision. Alright, now that I've told you which vitamins to avoid, it's time to talk about the vitamins that can actually save your life. These are the 4 vitamins I want you to seriously consider, because they can make the difference between thriving in your golden years versus just surviving. Let me start with the vitamin that 80% of people over 60 are deficient in without even knowing it. Magnesium controls over 300 functions in your body, from your heartbeat to your blood sugar. If you're low on this, everything else goes wrong. Think of magnesium like the plant manager of a huge factory. It controls over 300 different enzyme systems, your heartbeat, how your nerves communicate, and how your body processes blood sugar. Without magnesium, everything runs poorly. But here's the problem. As you get older, your ability to absorb magnesium drops significantly. Even worse, the most common medications we take actually steal magnesium from our bodies. Water pills for high blood pressure? They flush magnesium out through your urine. Acid blockers for heartburn or GERD? They prevent magnesium absorption. Blood pressure medications? Same thing. And here's the evidence that convinced me. A 2020 study followed thousands of people over 60 and found that those with adequate magnesium had 41% fewer strokes and 35% less type 2 diabetes. Think about that for a moment. Just by making sure you have enough of one simple mineral, you can cut your stroke risk nearly in half. That's an incredible number. But not all magnesium is created equal. Stay away from magnesium oxide. That's the cheapest form and also the most useless. It absorbs very poorly and often causes diarrhea. Instead, look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. These are forms your body can actually use, and they're gentle on your stomach. What will you notice when you have enough magnesium? First, you'll sleep better. Those nighttime leg cramps will disappear. Your blood pressure will be more stable and your heart rhythm more regular. And here's the beautiful part. Magnesium helps vitamin D3 and K2 work better. They're like a team working together. The dose I recommend is 250 to 400 milligrams daily, depending on your diet and what medications you're taking. This next vitamin really gets me excited. Research from Oxford University proves that this vitamin can reduce brain shrinkage in seniors by 30%. But 30% of people over 60 are deficient in it, for one simple reason that nobody tells them. Here's what most doctors don't explain clearly. After 60, your stomach produces less acid. That sounds like a good thing. Less acid, less stomach pain, right? But actually, you need that acid to absorb B12 from food. B12 isn't like other vitamins. It's incredibly hard to absorb. It needs to be freed from the proteins in meat, fish, and eggs by your stomach acid. Then it has to bind with a special protein called intrinsic factor to get absorbed in your intestines. As you get older, both of these processes slow way down. And if you're taking acid blockers like Prilosec or Nexium, or metformin for diabetes, the situation gets even worse. B12 is essential for three critical things: making healthy red blood cells, repairing damaged nerves, and keeping your brain functioning normally. And here's the study that amazed me. The Oxford Project followed thousands of elderly people and discovered that those supplementing with B12 had 30% less brain shrinkage compared to those who were B12 deficient. That means their brains weren't shrinking as fast as everyone else's. What will you notice when you have enough B12? Increased energy, not the jittery, artificial kind, but real, sustained energy. Better memory, better coordination. You won't feel unsteady when you stand up anymore. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that people with low B12 have double the risk of cognitive decline. That's why I think this is one of the most important vitamins for your brain. The dose I recommend is 2.4 micrograms daily, but in the methylcobalamin form, that's the form your body can use immediately. You can take sublingual tablets that dissolve under your tongue, or, if you're severely deficient, your doctor might give you injections. This is especially important if you're taking metformin or acid blockers. These medications make B12 deficiency much worse. Vitamin number 2 is one I want everyone over 60 to take seriously. This isn't just a vitamin for your bones. This is your body's master controller that regulates your immune system, your muscles, and your brain. A 2021 study proved it can reduce your risk of dying early by 34%. Let me explain why vitamin D3 is so crucial. After 60, your skin produces 50% less vitamin D3 from sunlight. Your kidneys also become less efficient at converting vitamin D. What's the result? 80% of seniors are D3 deficient without even knowing it. And here's what most people don't understand. Vitamin D3 isn't actually a vitamin. It's a hormone. It controls over 1,000 genes in your body. It determines whether your immune system works well, whether your muscles stay strong, and whether your brain stays sharp. When you're D3 deficient, you feel tired for no clear reason. You catch every cold and flu that goes around. You're more likely to fall because your muscles are weak. Your memory gets fuzzy. Many people even develop depression, especially during the winter months. I've seen too many friends assume this is just getting old, when really, they just need vitamin D3. And here's the proof. From the Journal of Endocrinology in 2021, people taking D3 daily had 34% fewer early deaths and 46% fewer falls. Those are life-changing numbers. So, how much do you need? Most people over 60 need 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily, but some need more depending on their blood test results. Choose cholecalciferol. That's real D3, not the fake D2 version. And always take it with a meal that contains some fat for best absorption. Here's the most important part. D3 must be paired with magnesium and vitamin K2. They work together like a team. Without magnesium and K2, D3 can't do its job properly. And now we come to vitamin number 1, the most important vitamin for people over 60, omega-3. A study of 42,000 people proves it can help you live 10 years longer with a brain as sharp as when you were 50. This isn't marketing hype. This is science. Let me tell you why I put omega-3 at number 1. A 2021 study in the European Journal followed 42,000 people over 60. Those with the highest omega-3 levels in their blood lived 36% longer than those with the lowest levels. 36%. That's a massive number. The journal Circulation also showed that omega-3 reduces fatal heart attacks by 45% in seniors. This isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Omega-3 does something no other vitamin can do. It actually builds brain tissue, making you think faster and remember better. It reduces inflammation throughout your entire body, protecting your heart, your joints, everything. The famous Framingham study, one of the longest-running health studies ever, showed that omega-3 reduces dementia risk by 24%. That means your brain could function like it did 10 years ago. I've seen friends in their 70s and 80s who are still sharp as tacks. What's their secret? They've been taking omega-3 for years. You need at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily. If you have heart problems, you might need 2,000 milligrams, but under a doctor's supervision. Choose the triglyceride form and always check for purity. Avoid products with heavy metals. Take it with meals to prevent fishy burps. The best food sources are salmon, mackerel, and sardines. But to get enough, you'd have to eat fish 3-4 times a week, which most of us just don't. Alright, remember this. 4 dangerous vitamins. Vitamin A, retinol. High-dose B6, synthetic vitamin E, and iron. Check your medicine cabinet today. 4 essential vitamins. Magnesium, B12, D3, and omega-3. This is your fantastic 4 for protecting your brain, heart, and bones. Now I want you to do this. Check your vitamins and consult with your doctor before making any changes. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. See you soon.